I don't know if you have that problem with Salem. He is a bad communicator. He wants to play, but he doesn't communicate how he wants to play, and I have no idea how to do it, even after like 13 years of them. And then he wants
Salem,
snuggles, and
he'll just drag his toy over when he wants to play.
Yeah.
Which is cute. And drop it right in front of me like a dog. He thinks he's a dog more than a cat, to be honest. And then when he gets the zoomies, he'll run all around. He's like, I want to play, I want to play, I want to play, and just go in a big circle. When he wants my chair, he'll just poke at me until I leave.
Mm-hmm.
Little shit. No, he's pretty normal.
Yeah, this guy is real bad at communicating. Yeah. He's terrible about it.
Yeah.
All right. This has been the cute pet hour. And by that, I mean cute pet like 2 hours, but also these pets are boring.
Yeah, and it fucking sucks. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast.
Is that it?
Is that it? Is that the...
I don't know. Anyway, we should... Alright, I'm recording in Audacity, I guess. You ready?
Yep.
Dogs. They're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
What happens when a lovable hound has an identity crisis?
Well, you can't just lie there.
You've got to be...
Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky.
And be ready to sit back for lots of laughing, slapping, pulling, slipping, splishing, and splashing.
Happens every time.
Treat yourself to a show of slapstick and fun with Dean Jones and Suzanne Plachette in The Ugly Dachshund.
What a dog.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Rough Cuts. Thanks for being around here while we took 2 weeks off while I was over in Europe, having some fun in Spain and France. This is our podcast about good boys and bad movies, where we watch a bad dog movie and then immediately talk about it right afterwards. I have my wonderful co-host here, Boix.
Hello.
And I, of course, am Ilyon. And this movie was nothing.
And this is the ghost of Walt Disney here.
Oh God! Oh no! He's doing a bad Japanese voice. Can we not?
Is he doing the racist thing already? Oh my God! Fuck it already! Ah, jeez!
Oh God, Walt! No. All right, I'm just gonna mute that. I can edit this one, so I've just muted Walt. We're just gonna.
Yeah, you don't get to hear Walt's ghost.
I'm sorry about that. We didn't know what he was like. We didn't look at the Disney Plus rating.
No, I knew what he was
on
like.
This.
For the record, I knew what he was like.
Then why didn't you stop me?
Okay, so The Ugly Dachshund, 1966, yes. Disney classic? Maybe?
You mentioned afterwards that it did have a warning on Disney Plus.
This is one of those movies where Disney had to be like, hey, this is super racist and of its time, so... Part of the Disney vault where they had to lock Walt's ghost in until we dug up his grave.
We really shouldn't have done that. We shouldn't have done that at the beginning of this podcast. You know, I like doing crime. We talk about crime sometimes. Crime's kind of cool. Grave robbing's cool. We shouldn't have done that one. That one was a bad.
So I expect out of the Disney vault the racism.
Yes.
A little bit. Anything that's in the Disney vault has been locked away for a very good reason.
Almost for sure, yeah.
The other thing you can expect is classic Americana gender roles.
I was going to say family values.
I said
family
gender roles.
Values.
Yeah. And also sexism. Your classic
family
both
values.
Ways.
Yes.
Both ways sexism.
Yes. Yeah.
Love of police and authority, I guess.
White picket fences and little garden parties and
I was reading some reviews on this because it was a very boring movie and I needed something to distract me from the racism.
Man. Yes, yeah.
So we were both like, I'm looking at my phone.
For about a 10-minute period of this movie, it is unwatchable.
It's not as bad as Breakfast at Tiffany's, but it's not even fucking close, I would say. Like it's getting
not,
there.
No, it's not. I would say that it's not even vaguely close to Breakfast at Tiffany's. That's
okay.
I will disagree. I will disagree there because Breakfast at Tiffany's is yellow face. This is actually at least Japanese people, like at least or like
They're a stereotype.
They're a stereotype, but
Yeah.
it's not nearly the stereotype that Breakfast at Tiffany's is, and especially again that it's yellow face. This is not
Yeah.
yellow face, so it's not there.
I was reading a
It's
review
bad.
on IMDb.
Mm-hmm.
I was not reading the Rotten Tomatoes reviews. I think it was somewhere. It was on one of these
Sure.
websites.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Watching this film reminded me of The White. Clamshell VHS tapes.
It reminded me of The White too. Yeah,
Sorry, I
that's
stopped.
fair.
I don't know why I put a pause there. It was a full sentence.
An appropriately pregnant pause.
Yeah, that's the other thing. So this is like your classic, and to be fair, this is from the 60s, but it's your classic, we got a dog, it's different, and we're gonna do all the weird, wow, that dog is so zany moments. Like, our generation might expect that from, like, Beethoven. Let's say.
Yes.
The Beethoven movies are our generation's version of that film. The new generation version of that film is Minecraft, I assume.
Chicken Jockey!
Chicken Jockey! Throwing popcorn, pissing all over the theater. I almost feel like we need to. I'm not gonna say it. Never mind. I almost feel like I need to go in the theater just to experience the madness.
I
Minecraft
kind of want
movie.
to. Yeah. If
I don't
go
give
to
a shit about the film. I just
no,
wanna...
I want to experience that. Like, people are. Okay, this is a whole side
we were
thing.
talking about
This is a
the
whole
Ugly
side thing, but I
Dachshund,
do have to say though, but we love theater. I love cinema. I love film.
Yes,
And
yes.
I honestly, unironically, people are losing their shit at these kids and like calling cops and saying what monsters they are. Man, this is fucking art. That's actually what I want us to have going into a cinema. Like, I mean, it's shitty that people have to clean it up. I'll agree with that. I think that it kind of sucks on that side of things. But the idea of, like, engaging with a film on a level like that is fun. That's cool. That's kind of rad, right? Like, it's at least compelling. It's something.
You know, if the Ugly Dachshund was in those theaters, he would have scared away those cops that were arresting those kids for throwing popcorn.
Right?
Yeah. What the fuck are we talking about
What are
this
we talking
episode?
about? We're not talking about this movie because there's nothing to talk about in this movie.
So, I guess this is a time capsule. This is a time capsule movie.
Yes.
In a ton of ways, including the values of the time.
It's a time capsule movie, yeah, in that when you opened it up, everything had crumbled to dust, and you were just sitting there going, like, sifting through, is this something?
Is this
I don't
a
know,
movie?
is this something?
Is this a film?
Something? Is this something?
There's the idea of, like, what is a film? This is
Mhm.
not a film.
No.
There's the idea of what's a story. This is not a story.
It's not a story. The idea of, like,
what-
what's plot?
What's a plot? There is no plot.
There's no plot.
Things just happen in the course of a year, 2 years. I don't even know the time that it happens because the time skips so much.
Yeah, time skips quite a bit, and it doesn't... The time skips don't make sense. Yeah.
But so it's that, and then there's also the time capsule of like, so
Mhm.
it's a husband and wife
Yeah.
who supposedly are not newlyweds, but have only been wed for a little while. They have one income,
Mm-hmm.
which is the husband, because the man makes the money in '66.
Yeah, and she
Um,
is the stay-at-home wife kind of thing. So, of course, they have your average house that you would have on, like, an artist's income in 1966.
It's a '66. It's like mid-century modern, but it's also almost like an old Sears catalog, like
Mhm.
30s, 40s style home.
Yep.
Those easily would have cost. I was doing some research because I was curious. This is a 2-car garage,
Two-car garage.
with
you
a
know.
big drive-through that goes
Mhm.
around.
A
into
huge
their home.
yard, nice white
It-
picket fences.
They have a pond.
They have a pond, yeah. And a studio in the back for him to do all of his art
studio
in.
for himself
Yeah,
to do his
yeah.
art in. They have multiple bedrooms, I assume, although they sleep in the same bedroom but in different beds. Which
It's
is
that kind of
fine.
movie. Yup.
There's also nothing wrong with that, but
No,
in
but-
this context, it's they can't sleep together because that would include sex or
It
something.
would. That's it's actually
Intimacy.
like a code thing. Like they weren't allowed to show that in a lot of movies for a long time.
Oh, they couldn't. Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
No, that was a big thing. That's why they separated. Like there for ratings and stuff, there was a lot of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was. A big thing.
There's that problem.
Yeah.
But the home they're in, roughly maybe a $21,000 home at the time, which for inflation is a $200,000 home, which is still like not a this. I'm so confused. In the current market, it's probably more like a $700,000 home because I've been home searching for the last
minimum.
couple years. But
Absolute minimum.
If you only adjust for inflation, it's 200,000. But if you adjust for bullshit,
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, this is depressing is what this is. Watching this is like...
what I'm saying is they're in a mansion.
Oh yeah, no, they're in an absolute mansion and it seems like super incongruous because he's just a fucking artist and she doesn't
He's an
work.
artist. So the
But-
average median, actually the
Mhm.
median, not the average price, the median, which is different. I know math.
Yes.
The median price, or the median income for an artist is about almost 8,000, 7,900.
In
Of
1966, yeah.
But that assumes a lot. That assumes that you
seems
get
they're
constant
well-known.
work, that
Yeah,
you're well
yeah.
known, that you make a ton of sales, that you're doing side stuff. And he's shown to be doing some side stuff, like he's making signs for companies, that he's painting by hand. But if you assume best case scenario, median income, 7,900, that's not even a third of the price of the house. So like
But per year.
per year. So his income, assuming he's been paying for other shit, is way lower that he can actually afford.
Sure, but... Dude,
But this
like,
is also 66. Like, what are they doing? They're just like giving out houses. They don't give a shit, right? Like
21,000 for that. It's depressing. This is one of those things where when we joked immediately before
it's a
we knew-
generational divide, is what it is too. Is
Yes,
what I'm getting at.
we joked about it when he first showed up on screen. We didn't know what his income was, and he had this really nice house in the 2-car garage. We're like, so what's his career like? You know, construction worker, janitor. You know,
Mhm.
that he has just like, you know, this garbage one story,
One-story
perfect
house.
white picket fence house with a pond and 2 cars. Like this poor schlub's probably just like some blue collar loser, and it's like, yep, he's an artist, yeah.
Basically, yeah.
It's depressing the way that home
but-
prices have been. What a great
and-
podcast we have talking about these things. It's so important.
But then you look at him as an artist in 66.
yeah,
So this is also like pre-70s free love shit. This is an artist in the 60s is either a wacko like weirdo,
mm-hmm.
like Dadaism type of stuff, or they're an animator.
I'm not
for,
getting
like-
into whatever you're doing here on art. I know your art critiques are your own, my friend.
But what I'm saying is they're like, or they're an animator, or they're like
Yeah.
a sign painter or something, and like he's basically just a. What I'm saying is this is a self-insert
Yes,
for the Disney animators.
I was gonna say that this felt very much like a, hey, by the way, do you want to work for Disney? We pay you pretty decent. Like,
It's like Disney fanfic from a Disney writer. Supposedly this is based on a book,
he looked
which has
like,
to be an
That's the
incredibly
most
boring
book.
by the
Oh
way.
my god.
Yeah.
Hey, his paintings are very Norman Rockwell, honestly, in a
Yeah.
lot of ways. They're very much like that. He
it's
does
not even his
paintings of dogs.
Paintings that are good though. Like I mean, his dog drawings are good.
They're fine.
Sure,
They look
sure.
okay.
But he's also shown to be doing sculptor. Like
Oh, his sculpts are
sculpting.
fucking garbage. His sculpts
His
look
sculpts
like shit.
look like shit.
Yes.
And then he has like a fist that's raised up. That he has. You were saying this is probably reference material. Like
That's
somebody
what
had
I
taken
would think.
casts.
Yeah.
Casts of like an eye, a mouth. But I
Mhm.
think he's a pervert, and he's. And he's been doing this because he wants to start a fancy restaurant business so that people can lick foam out of a cast of his mouth, and then he could act like
I don't
it's
know
high
where you're
class
getting that.
food.
What have you watched that you see
You
these
don't
chefs
know
doing
this
I
story?
don't know
Oh
this
my
story.
God.
Okay, we need to get back to the movie.
No.
This is a podcast about movies. I'm editing this week, and I'm looking at it and going, there's nothing in this movie. This is going to be an easy edit. It's great, because I just came back from Europe, and I'm jet lagged, and I'm sick. And you're like, no, man, I'm going to talk about chefs kissing you on the mouth
No,
with their
you-
weird plastic
okay.
foam mouths.
But
I don't
now
know what
that
the
I'm-
fuck we're going into. What are you doing here? Chicken Jockey.
Now that I've said it, people need to know. People need to know. So there was a thread and an article about a reporter that went to a fancy restaurant I think in Europe.
It's in my hands.
In like France or something. But it was like a 2-star Michelin restaurant. And it was a fucking 7-hour ordeal of them just doing nothing, starving them, and then coming over with like, oh, here's a fucking casting of the chef's mouth where you can gingerly lick this foam with no flavor out of it. Ooh, we'll be back in another hour for a cracker or something. It's the most
God.
ridiculous fucking thing. But it... Anyways, that's related to film because
Just
of
the
that
chef.
movie about a chef that kills a bunch of people for high-class dining because they're all shitheads. Anyways, I think that's called The Menu.
That
The
is called The Menu. Yeah.
That movie is good. The Ugly Dachshund. What are we talking about?
I don't know!
Anyway, they're rich fuckers that live on an artist's income. There's multiple acts to this film. In theory.
But I mean,
But it's also more like TV skits.
Yeah, there's not any plot to this. It starts out, I should say, this movie started out in a way that made me like somewhat excited about where it could go. In that, like, for example, I picked this movie today because we've had some of the winners from like 50s, 60s comedies where, yeah, some of the stuff can be dated, but a lot of the time, like, the jokes are... We were talking about this being Beethoven-esque, right? That it's... Because the eventual plot is, oh, he brings a Great Dane into a household full of dachshunds. So it's like, oh, look, hijinks ensue. And a modern kind of context, Beethoven forward, is like, fart, shit, piss, oh god, that dog's peeing in your mouth, oh no, oh gross, oh it's shit in the bed, like it's that stuff. And in here, the joke is things like right at the beginning, it's more slapstick fun, that tends to be a lot funnier to me. And the beginning of this movie has them hurriedly rushing to the hospital out of their house, where he's like, oh my god, is it time? And she goes, yes, it's time, I'm ready. You got to get to the hospital right away. He's like, okay, I've phoned the doctor, and he's like tangled up in his phone cord because he's all excited. And then he takes her into the car, and they're racing down the road, speeding. Cop sees them on a motorcycle, goes to pull them over, and then he goes, no, I'm white. I'm white.
I'm
see?
white.
And also,
I'm
I got
white.
to
You
take
can
her to
let
the
me go.
hospital. And he goes, okay, I'll get you there. So he, pulls in front of them and starts blaring down the highway. They blow past him as he pulls them to the hospital. And he goes, what the fuck? And then he follows them, and they go to an animal hospital. And the joke is, she gets out of the car holding her little dog. And it's the dog that's pregnant. And that's like, it's not some amazing joke, but at least it's something. It's kind of funny. It's a little bit subversion of expectation. It's just kind of good, clean fun. And then this fucking falls off a cliff.
This fucking cop too. But no,
Yes,
we've
too.
seen that intro in a different context already in this podcast, and that was Look Who's Talking, the dog.
Oh
version,
god, yes, yeah.
where they showed dog sperm inseminating an egg.
Well, it's better than that at least. Hey, look, see, this is what I mean though. Like a modern movie would just have them
So it was
fucking
just
sperming
gross.
each other. Yeah.
It was just gross. And then they're like, okay, now we did it. See, there's a puppy.
See,
In this one, it's at least
yeah.
classy with its humor to some extent until it isn't.
We'll get to that.
But so the cop is mad at him for not going to the hospital because he had a misunderstanding about what they meant, which is a cop problem, not a couple problem. It's not their problem that he fucking misunderstood.
Not really, no. Although they probably didn't need to go and speed
They
and
didn't
blow
need
through
to
stop
speed
signs
and blow through stop and do all that other shit. No, but
the cop
he
takes
didn't
it
need to write.
yeah.
He didn't need to write like 12 tickets worth of ticket at them
Mm-hmm.
and keep adding more on like a prick.
Yeah, and laughing at him the whole time that he's doing it. At least the cop storyline is fun.
So the cop's correct, yeah.
No,
I
well, no.
guess.
I said the cop storyline's fun, not the cop's
guess.
correct. I like where it goes with the cop eventually.
It does torture the cop.
They do touch that cop
Yeah, they
later,
do
but
torture the cop.
he writes them up this big ticket and everything, and you'd think that goes somewhere, that something's gonna happen. Basically, she gets the dogs. She's got these doxies. She's a dog show person, so she's really concerned about the dogs because of that. And then when he comes back, the husband comes back to pick up the dogs later from the vet. He goes, "Oh, I also have these Great Danes, but the Great Dane doesn't have enough milk, and your dachshund has too much milk. Oh my God, what could we do?"
Because the vet has his own dog that had given a litter, and the mother dog in that case had pushed away this puppy.
Yeah.
Because of the lack of milk. And oh wow, it's nature. What a weird coincidence. Anyway, you should take this dog in. He's like, nah, I'm not taking another dog. My wife will be furious. Here, just hold this puppy for a moment. That's all I'm saying.
Just hold
it'll be
it.
Fine. Just hold him. I
just
gotta
gotta
do something
leave.
else.
Yeah.
And the trap was set.
That is a fucking mean trick. That is a mean thing to do to somebody. You can't do that. You can't do that to somebody. That's always a yes.
For somebody to put a puppy in your arms and for you to say, no, give it back, fuck that dog, you'd have to be some sort of horrible, disgusting monster of a person.
Right? So he goes home, sees his wife, and he goes, "Hey, honey, hold this dog." And she goes, "Oh, that's cute. Hey, take it back."
There was some other weird sexist thing here, because he's like, so all the dachshund dogs were girls.
Yeah,
which
I
is
was gonna get
irrelevant to anything.
Totally irrelevant.
It doesn't mean
Who cares?
anything. But he's like, oh, I really wanted a boy dog. For some reason. You see, because he, as the man, has a penis. And dogs that are boys also, so they can bond. Where's this going? What the fuck
He doesn't
is
like
his point?
anything without a penis.
What's his problem?
But also, the sexism is so weird because, like you said, it goes both ways. In that also, she's this dainty wife who just, oh, I'm so glad that I've got my little girly dogs. It's that. It's both of them are written
because she
that
pampers
way.
them, and then he's like just letting the boy dog just do whatever.
Men gotta be
have
men.
fun.
Like it's totally that. But
It's
done through their
totally
dogs.
that. It's weird, yeah. So they have to be sexist against the dogs too, for some reason. And he can't bond with a dog if it's a girl dog.
Also, dachshunds are little girly dogs, and I need a real man's dog, like a Great Dane. It's that too. It's a layered cake full of bullshit sexism.
Full of bullshit. So anyway, she forces him to take the dog back, the Great Dane, which they named Brutus, off of a Great Dane from a book that he has. For some reason,
A book of illustrated dogs.
Like he's been fantasizing about owning this dog, and she's just being a monster about it.
That's the other thing. Yeah, she is awful about this. Like, she will not let him have his dog.
No. So he takes it back, and he's like, fine. And it's been a couple weeks. The dachshund puppies are older now. And it's his birthday. So he wants to take his wife out to a nice dinner. He's set up a place at a restaurant, reserved. He's bought tickets to the Philharmonic Symphony, and he spent a ton of money and time. And then she walks over. She's like, "How about we just don't do that, and you spend time with me and my cute dogs that I love more than you?"
Yeah, like, this is not a joke. That's what she does. And he's like,
and he's fuming.
Appropriately, he's furious. It shows him just like downing drink after drink from the champagne bottle that he got. And he's like, because he's going, well, can't you get ready to go? And she goes, no, I don't want to. Just stay here. We're going to have your birthday inside.
So, like, I guess she thought of a cute idea. Like, oh, wouldn't it be cute if we did this? But the problem is she doesn't communicate.
It's a big problem throughout this movie.
And he also doesn't communicate because he tried to hide the Dane as a dachshund puppy for a couple weeks, which is the dumbest plan.
Yeah, because he thought that she was a moron, which she kind of was at first, because she got tricked by it for a little bit.
For like a day or two, and then she just fucked with him for a couple weeks until they finally talked about it, which is great relationship behavior.
Yes, it's
I gotta
very
admit.
much that. So she has all of the dogs come out, the dogs that he doesn't like, bringing out these little presents for him, but all of the presents are fucking garbage. It's a necktie that he obviously doesn't like, and then she gets him a pipe where you immediately go, oh, hey,
I
look,
thought,
it's a crack pipe, and then she goes,
I
it's a
thought-
pipe.
I thought she bought him a spoon, like one of those teaspoons
Yeah,
with like the Queen of England on it or something.
kind of looks like
And
that.
and I'm like, oh yeah, it's for crack, and you grab a lighter, and he just.
And then
But
she
then
goes,
it
"Oh,
turned
it's
out
a
to
pipe."
be a pipe, and I'm like,
But he also goes, I quit smoking. Like, she doesn't even know that he quit smoking.
She doesn't know anything about him.
It's a terrible relationship through and through. They're both terrible people. And so he then gets like a pipe and then it was a box of something. It was just like a fancy box. I can't even remember what
It
that
was just a music box.
Oh, yeah, it was a music
sup-
box that played
was
the wrong
supposed to be
music.
for like, I don't know, his jewelry, his watch, something. But like, he didn't give a shit. Clearly,
Clearly did not give a shit.
She thought it was cute.
And then the last one is a dog bone.
A bone that the dogs like, that she got bronzed
Yes.
as
For
a
him.
joke for him. And she's not even taking it seriously.
So of course he gets mad and he's like, well, fine, fuck this, I'm going to bed. Which, totally justified at this point. And he's upset, goes to bed, but in the bedroom is the Great Dane. And that was the big surprise and subversion. But why wouldn't she just communicate that to him before she fucks and... Like, she ruins his whole evening, destroys his plans, makes him pay for all these tickets and plan everything out, and then gives him garbage gifts on purpose to upset him, and then he has to be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't give you the patience, and I should have known. And it's like, no, fuck
No.
that. Fuck that. That's a terrible way to do this. Both of them, honestly. Again, it's like, this is a twofold problem. They both suck.
Yep.
It's just, this is a microcosm for their entire relationship and for pretty much the rest of the movie. Because that's what this movie is just that over and over and over.
It's just those conflicts of them not talking to each other and coming up with stupid ways to annoy each other.
for
the
another
rest of the film.
70 minutes from after
And-
this. Yeah.
Some of which is dog induced. Because
Mhm.
as it turns out, the dachshunds are also little shits, which
Yep.
like to play pranks and destroy everything. And then at the end of the day, they blame it on Brutus and then immediately leave and hide the evidence that they were ever involved. Those little fuckers.
the little bastards.
Fucking assholes. So that the wife, Fran, is constantly complaining to her husband about this dog they need to get rid of because this dog isn't prim and proper like her good little shits.
Oh, God.
It's like the Cinderella problem, or like the
Mhm.
fucking stepsisters, or sorry, the Titanic the animated movie that we watched problem.
Yeah.
My bad. It's a different movie. I should know better. Okay, so anyway, the cop shows back up to harass him some more for some reason.
Well, because there's a cat burglar.
Supposedly,
There's
there's
cat
no
burglar in the
evidence of a
neighborhood.
cat burglar at all in the film.
This is, well, I wanted to talk about this a little bit because this feels like we're like, at this point, I'm looking at like my notes.
Mhm.
We're 30 minutes in
Yep.
to this movie. And so it's like, okay, well, we're getting plot finally. Because at this point, it's just, we have dogs and we're a family. That's all that's happened. There's nothing going on. And then the cop shows back up and he goes, hey, Mr. Garrison, I just want to let you know that there's been a cat burglar in the neighborhood, so you better watch out. So you're like, okay, I get it. Here's plot. The Dachshunds are going to be like little shits and keep on blaming Brutus. Brutus is going to save the day and catch the cat burglar and get accepted by the family, on and on and on. Like he's going to do some big heroic thing like that. Introduce the cat burglar. They never bring the cat burglar into the movie at all after that, except for one other scene that has nothing to do with the cat burglar and then doesn't go anywhere, and the cop leaves the film.
There had to be some point in the movie where they introduce this plot line, and then later on something gets stolen and they have to deal with the situation.
Right?
And then, Brutus is here, and Brutus is a Great Dane, as we all know, is a Scooby-Doo. And that is a dog that finds things and solves crime. So that
it's
dog
the 60s.
solves crime.
We know what Scooby-Doo is. We get it. We know the Scoobs.
And then after he solves crime, the cop is like, wow, that's a good dog. We're going to give him an award and a key to the city or some bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
that's
none of that
obvious.
fucking happens.
None of it. Nothing happens. The cop shows up, goes, hey, there's a cat burglar in the area, and then that's basically the scene. And later on, when Brutus has done some bad shit, and the wife says, you gotta put that dog outside, like it's gotta go out into the garage, he puts the dog into the garage and locks himself out of the house. Mr. Garrison does. So he's trying to get back into his own home.
The husband.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The cop sees this, thinks he's the cat burglar, pulls into their driveway, tries to sneak out of his car like he's fucking Chief Wiggum, and then the Great Dane puts him up in a tree. This was a great scene, though, in a way, because that dog puts him into a tree, and the husband and wife plug their ears for the night because they're so tired of their dog barking with cotton swabs. So he's yelling like, hey, let me down from the tree! And he gets stuck there all night and just has like the worst day ever.
Yeah, Brutus is a good dog.
What a good dog.
Brutus terrorized this cop all night. And that cop, by the way, strong will on that one, because he had a gun in every scene at his hip, and he did not reach for it once to kill that dog that was vaguely threatening him at the bottom of a tree, because he's a fucking coward and couldn't just go down the tree and get into his fucking car.
Yeah, like there's no reason why he couldn't. But then that's it. That's the whole thing.
Yeah,
there's no cat burglar that ever shows up again. And the cop doesn't even show up again.
Cop's gone.
That's like 45 minutes into this hour and a half movie, and then it's just gone. It's just over.
The only point I can get to the scene at all in the story, which is in big quotes, is that the husband is so mad at his wife that he's looking for any excuse to prove that Brutus is a good boy. That Brutus trying to go after a burglar and mistakenly running a cop up a tree is a good thing. And he wants to shove it in her face. And
this is their relationship.
Look, fucker. He tried to protect us. That means he's a good dog. And she's like, well, but he ran a cop up a tree. He's like, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Dog. What a good dog. Yeah, the cop's in the tree while he's doing this whole routine for her. Like, look.
Because he just needs to shove it in her face.
Which is their whole dynamic between the two of them. They both suck.
So then she hosts some backyard party, and shenanigans happen.
And we both looked at our phone.
A lot of racism happens at the backyard party.
The entire Japanese-American community has declared our house a disaster area.
Oh, good.
Because she hires two Japanese caterers to do it.
Caterers, yeah. And
we don't need to get into it.
Not even going to get into it.
We don't need to get into it.
But anyway, she gets mad enough that she's again like, you need to get rid of that dog. I guess. So they don't. Again, this goes nowhere. It's the same fucking thing over and over again. But at the party, the husband talks to the vet who originally tricked him into taking this dog by putting it in his arms.
Yes,
and saying, making him fall in love with it immediately.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, have you ever thought about putting Brutus in a dog show? He's kind of a schlubby piece of shit dog. They'll love that.
That's what they love at those dog shows, right?
Your wife
goes to those. Dogs. You could one up your wife again and show her how horrible and awful she is. That's your relationship.
You ever think
right?
about doing shit behind your back and just like, being sneaky and a real dick about it?
And then you could rub it in her face? Yeah, that's great. We should do that.
So anyway, they do that. Well, actually, before that happens, one of the puppies, or maybe the mother dachshund, crawls into a garbage can for no reason.
Yeah, this is like the excuse to get her to keep the dog.
I guess. But, like, so the garbage guy comes by, picks up the can. Brutus is trying to stop him because there's a dog inside.
Mm-hmm.
And then the garbage man just, like, throws the dog into the back of the garbage truck, which is that is a dead dog in 10 seconds moment.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But he can't turn on the machine to kill this dog. The dog killing machine. Because
Yeah, no, I've
Brutus is
seen
stopping
Shelby.
him. I've seen Shelby.
I know about the dog killing
I
machine.
know about that. So then he goes to the door. He's like, "Hey, your dog's trying to kill me for just trying to kill your dog, your other dog. What the fuck?"
Why is this Great Dane all mad? And then points
the
out
husband,
there's another dog in there, and
husband comes out and saves it. He's like, "Oh wow, Brutus must be a good dog.
he must have known that other dog was in there and didn't want to see it crushed to death."
Wow, is this relevant to anything? Does this
No.
matter? No.
It's incredible that they set up that as a plot line with the cat burglar.
Mhm.
Like, for it to be like, oh, Brutus is actually good. Look, he rescued the family, did whatever. And then they dropped it, and then they went, wait a minute, that was a good storyline. We need something like that. And then put
need
it back
something
in,
like that.
but did it in, like, a 2-minute long scene that just out of nowhere
Nothing.
happens.
Don't worry, because that nothing leads into another nothing scene that also doesn't go anywhere. So there's a whole thing about, oh, Brutus is a Great Dane, and they're dachshunds, and that's a big dog, and those are small dogs. Isn't that funny? He thinks he's a small dog, but he's a big dog. Ha ha ha. So, like, they pull out a dog book, and they're like, no, Brutus, look at this book. You're a Dane. That's a dachshund. You see how they look different? Do you get it? You're different. You're not a small dog. But then Brutus acts like a small dog again. They're like, oh, geez, that didn't work. So they're setting up a dog show. They're setting up that Brutus acts like a small dog.
Yes.
There's multiple ways this could go. One, Brutus acts like a small dog and wins because of it. And it's shown that his difference is actually what makes him unique and interesting and a good boy. No.
No.
Fucking no.
Hell no, they can't do that.
Another thing is he acts like that, and it ruins his chances at the dog show, but the family still loves him because of his odd nature.
Yeah, it shows that he's unique and it's
He's
special
unique,
to them, and
and
they don't
that's
need
what they don't need
they don't
the
need
fucking
external
dog show.
validation to understand that they love their dog as part of their family. Fuck no, of course not, no. So there is a third option.
Yeah, there is a third option.
The third option is that, see, men and women are different, boys.
What does this have to do with anything?
Men have to show off to women, and so what you need is a female Great Dane to make him
go
to be a real man and man up to his full dog potential and stop acting like a dachshund.
I'm a little confused that they didn't put a bow on the girl dog.
Jesus fucking
How was
Christ.
I supposed to know it was a girl dog?
Jesus fucking Christ.
It didn't have lipstick or eyelashes. Like, how am I supposed to know?
That's the plot. That is how this goes.
This has fucking nothing to do with the fact that Brutus was raised as a dachshund.
No.
And even when Brutus acts like a dachshund during the dog show, it also doesn't matter or do anything that's relevant to hurt or help him. It's just nothing.
No, because the judge has the fucking memory of a goldfish. They have the Brutus, like, misbehave and fuck everything up. And then he looks at him 5 seconds later after the female dachshund comes near Great Dane comes near them.
Mm-hmm.
And he straightens back up and he goes, wow, you switched dogs, I guess. If you just tell me how you switched dogs, then I'll still let you stay in the show. And he goes, I didn't. And he goes, well, then that's a really good dog. I guess I got to give you first place. What?
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 Your dog's so well behaved now, even though it wasn't earlier, and I should dock you points for that, but I won't, because, anyway.
So then the husband wins the grand prize, wife gets second place, and he goes to tell her what a shitty, awful
'Cause he
loser
wants
she
to
is, and how
rub
much
it in
she
her face
fucking
again.
sucks, how her whole life is worthless, and how he does even the little things that she cares about better than she does, even half-assed. She sucks so bad.
This is again after spending like 5 days half-ass training this dog.
Yes.
And he just wants to rub it in her face that she spent months. That she's ill, by the way. She is sick at this point in time, if I remember right, in the plot. Like, she was literally physically ill and having problems. And his first thought is, I can't wait to fucking rub it in her face.
Show her. I'm gonna show her so good. And normally she's been pretty awful, but it's amazing here because he goes to rub it in her face and she sees the prize in his hand and she goes, "Oh, you won. That's so good for you. I love you. That's beautiful. I am such a supportive, loving wife that I love that you won, and it's so perfect. You're such a great husband." What? Wow, what a fucking asshole.
A fucking 180.
She totally
immediately,
destroys this piece of shit.
Yeah. And then so he wins
Gets his ass.
Best male Great Dane and then best of breed, but doesn't win best of show. So it ends with them putting their ribbons up, including all the participation ribbons, I assume that they also get. Me, as the child of a Gen Xer, knows that participation ribbons are really what matters, and I'm glad I got hundreds of them in my closet.
Gotta make sure that all those dachshunds get all their participation trophies.
Anyway. But they put them up, they're like, okay, no more dog shows. We're just gonna bicker like normal people. That's what really matters, is that I showed off at that dog show how much better I am than you.
This is just an hour and a half long, like, advertisement for couples therapy. Like, it's...
Yeah, a Disney
that's
classic.
all this is. Yeah,
It's a
God.
Disney
Yeah,
classic.
that is one of their templates. That's true.
Man, do you think they shot this at Epcot? Like, they just used one of the Epcot white people neighborhood houses that they built before they're like, oh, we need to turn this into a theme park.
Probably.
This is not okay.
I mean, that's why he's got a studio there full of animation. It's just like company store kind of shit.
It's just a Disney company store artist. Yeah.
Oh,
Almost
God.
positive. Almost positive. That's what it was.
Let's rate these dogs.
Do they have an awards for animals on how quickly they can chase a cop away?
We're gonna give one at the end of the Rough Cuts episode, boys. That's what...
Because that's like...
That's our podcast. That's what we're doing. I don't know if you know what we're doing here, but that is what we're gonna do.
They need to, like, start a dog show for that. That's a pretty important skill, right?
I mean... Again, this is our podcast. We're about to do it. Just give us an hour.
Brutus should win every award for chasing away cops from my property.
Mm-hmm.
What a good dog. They need to start a show for that, specifically.
We could call it Dogs, and it could be like cops. You could just have like a crew follow around a dog that just rips cops to shreds whenever they go to do anything.
Dogs. They're coming. They're coming your way.
They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
They'll be here soon.
They don't care if you've got a badge.
Now that's a good
Brutus
show.
is a doesn't care if you've got a badge at a 10. Brutus is a good boy.
Other dogs, all the dachshunds are one dog, even though there's multiple dogs. They are the same dog in my mind because they have no personality.
Well, they only name one of them.
They named the mom.
Well, and they named the mom, and then they named one of the puppies.
Chloe. I don't even remember the puppies. Okay,
Chloe.
Yeah,
but they named the one puppy, and they just use that one puppy as like the thing that they always say whenever it's all of them. It's ridiculous.
If your writer doesn't even give a shit that there's 3 dogs, why should I?
Why should we?
Right?
Yeah, it's...
They're nothing. They're little shitheads. They love crime.
I was gonna say they do love crime, though.
They love
really
crime,
like doing
and
crime
more
and
importantly,
blaming it on somebody else.
They love blaming it on a dog that is more susceptible to being blamed for crime than rich.
Wait, is this racism
dogs.
again? Oh shit!
No,
oh,
this
fuck.
is racism.
No, God damn it! Walt Disney got us again.
These dogs are racist out of 10. Is my opinion.
I hate this. We're ending this episode.
This
welcome,
is what the
thank
Disney
you.
Plus warning was about. It's
Oh,
about the
thank-
dogs.
Oh no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Oh, we don't need to talk about
And
what
the
it was
other
about.
problems.
Thanks for listening to our podcast about the Ugly Dachshund. You can always help us support us on
And
our
the Minecraft
Patreon.
movie or whatever. I don't know what we talked about.
Boyk's paid like $4 American to get this off of Amazon Prime too. You had to rent this piece of shit.
I want my money back.
This almost put me to sleep. I honestly almost fell asleep. I had to do like some jumping jacks when we took a break to wake myself up for the rest of the recording. But we appreciate all the help, everybody watching our stuff, listening to our stuff. You can always follow us on social media. We're Rough Cuts Cast on Blue Sky. You can email us, roughcutscast@gmail.com. And of course, big shout out to all the people that help support the podcast so that we can continue to pay podcast hosting fees and rentals for these bad pieces of shit. So thank you for helping us out on our Patreon. You can find us there, Rough Cuts, as well. And that's RUFF Cuts, by the way, of course.
And if you want us to go to the Minecraft movie and leave 10 minutes in, let us know.
Please let us know on social media.
Because I don't want to see the movie. I just want to see the
the
theater for a couple minutes and then immediately leave.
I really want to experience it. Like, I really want... If I go to the Minecraft movie and it's not a fucking riot, I'm gonna be mad. Like, I honestly...
There's
I'm
not, like, Molotovs being thrown at the screen. Like,
yeah,
what's
unironically, I want to go and see that. I want that to be my movie experience. I'm kind of tempted to go and see Minecraft just for that. That's, like, the only reason I want to go and see it.
yeah.
It can.
Well, anyway, Chicken Jockey! Yeah! I'm with this guy. Fuck those dogs.